Hello everybody, welcome back and thank you for joining me in today's video. Today I am going to share my 21-day sugar detox following this book by Diane Sanfilippo. This book has literally changed the way that I eat and think about food, which is why I wanted to share my experience with you. Okay, so here's a bit of a backstory. When I started college, I was working in restaurants and I didn't really have time to cook food and prep my meals because I was working full-time and going to school full-time. Since I worked in the restaurant industry, it was very easy for me to just order food from my job. So that's what I did. I worked in a diner and I literally ate diner food every single day of the week. Not to mention that when I went to school, there was a truck, and I'm just gonna call it the truck because it was the truck, and everyone just ate truck food. So within my first and second year of college, I gained most of my weight because I was eating diner food and also truck food. However, over time, I did notice that I was gaining weight, so I did try to watch what I was eating. But even though I was trying to be careful about what I ate, I wasn't aware of the things that I was putting into my body. I came across this book after I had a personal trainer for an entire year and I had no results. I was kind of desperate to lose weight around this time because I was about to go on vacation and none of my attempts to lose weight were working. And then I came across this video, which I will link in the description, and I will also share a Amazon link to this book if you are interested in buying it. And just so that you're aware, I have not contacted this author and I also don't have affiliated markets, but I'm still gonna share the link, the Amazon link on my description. And I'm also gonna talk about this book because even though I don't know Diane Sanfilippo, I think this book is wonderful and I want to share it with you guys. What sparked my curiosity when I came across this video and when I bought the book was that I kept hearing people say that sugars are equivalent to carbs and that if you truly want to lose weight, you want to eliminate sugar and also carbohydrates so that you can get results. Personally, I don't agree with cutting carbohydrates 100%. because people can legitimately develop hypoglycemia because of this. But I do see the benefit in diminishing the amount of carbohydrates and also sugars that you consume in your body. So in this video, I am going to walk you through this book and then I'm going to share my experience while on this detox. Also, in case you were curious, I've been having a few issues running this week because I've been consuming a supplement which has affected me a lot, and I will make a video about this probably in the next 2 weeks. But after consuming this supplement, I've been experiencing withdrawals, so I haven't been feeling good at all. I've been experiencing headaches, fatigues, insomnia, and also loss of appetite. But after running for about a month with a week break and not running Saturdays and Sundays, I've dropped down to 133.6 pounds, which I think it's pretty good for someone who is only doing cardio and not really going to the gym and watching her diet 100%. Nala? You're so annoying, Nala. All right, so if you open the book, you will get a table of content, and there's a lot of stuff in here. Everything is page numbered and labeled, so it is very easy to navigate this book. On the first part of this book, you're going to find the program guidelines, which tell you what are the foods that you can and cannot eat. It also tells you how to build your plate, and it also has a frequently asked questions section, which I think is amazing because you don't find this in every book. And one of the sections that she has in her guidelines is the mindset that you should have, because honestly, the most important thing that needs to happen when you are trying to lose weight is changing your mindset. Because unless you change your mindset, you are never going to do anything. It's just like therapy. If your therapist tells you to do something and you don't do it, you're not going to see a single change. After the program guidelines, she has what we called the week before the detox, which is very important because around this time is when you get educated. She has a lot of information about how your liver stores fat and how your body processes carbs and sugars, and it is very helpful to know this stuff before you get into it. And part of her educating you on this is changing your mindset to understand what you're getting yourself into. Another part of the week before your detox is the food shopping. And honestly, food shopping is very intense, at least on the first week. And if it is your first time, it is very intense, but it is definitely worth it. I'm just going to share this with the food shopping. You are going to spend a lot of hours in the supermarket on the first week because she's very specific about the things that you have to get. She doesn't really care about brand names or anything like that, but what you need to make sure is that everything is sugar-free. And while you're in the supermarket and you're reading the nutrition labels, you're going to realize that everything that you have in your refrigerator and in your pantry has sugar. And I'm talking like everything, things that you didn't think had sugar. For example, in her book, she has a recipe on how to make marinara sauce, and she's asking you to buy crushed tomatoes. And who would think that when you're just trying to buy diced tomatoes or just crushed tomatoes in a can, that there is a lot of sugar in those tomatoes? It is crazy, but I'm telling you, it is worth it. Something that you also need to be aware of is that when you are doing the sugar detox, you are not allowed to take sugar substitutes, because part of the sugar detox is not just for you to diminish your sugar consumptions, but it's also for you to re-cleanse your palate. Because at the end of the sugar detox, you are literally going to be able to taste sugar in things that you didn't even taste sugar before, like cheese and just plain bread. And then once you are done with the pre-detox, you have the 21-day sugar detox. And this is great because in the book, she has a description day by day, and she also has a journal. So you're not only being educated, but she's also helping you brainstorm and organize your ideas as you are consuming the foods and also going through the detox. Because sometimes when you're in a diet or a detox, it gets a little bit lonely and you might feel very tempted, and it's nice to journal and to get your thoughts down so that you can reflect on the cravings and the self-control that you need to maintain in order to get through this. So once you are done with your 3-week detox, she has a section called the week after your detox. And I know it sounds a little bit silly, but the week after your detox is very important because once you are done with the detox, you don't want to go back to your old habits. You want to try to maintain your good habits. And just so that you're aware, after your detox, everything is going to taste sweet, which is why she helps you work your way through sugary things, like including berries and other kinds of fruits into your diet and not consuming processed foods. So if we keep moving forward down the book, she also has useful guidelines. And I think this is great because sometimes you might be craving something sweet. And one of the tips that she gives you is to add cinnamon on things. Because when your brain consumes cinnamon, your brain thinks it's sugar, but in reality, you're not consuming sugar. So I think the tips and the guidelines that she has here are super helpful for people who are just trying to go through their detox and, satisfy that craving a little bit. And honestly, look at this part. This is awesome. She has a lot of information on nutrition facts and vitamins that you should be consuming, like glutamine and magnesium and B vitamins and chromium. And I think this is awesome because she's not just helping you figure out what you should be eating and how to balance your diet, but she's also educating on vitamins and minerals that you should be consuming regularly. And part of the guidelines include what foods are good even within cultures, because different cultures eat different things. So, she'll have, if you're eating American food, try to avoid the fried stuff. If you're consuming Asian stuff like Chinese food or Japanese food, try to avoid the MSG. And then we get into the meal plans and recipes. The meal plan and recipe portion of the book is the most important part of the book because this is what tells you what you are eating every day for every single meal. It also helps you choose out snacks because you are allowed to have one snack a day. As you can see, she has the pictures of what you should be consuming, and she also has it labeled breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And she is aware that the portions that she gives you in the book are usually extra. So she'll say, okay, well, you made 2 portions of this. Make sure that you save the extra portion for tomorrow. And I think this is awesome because she's also aware that you're going to have leftovers and that you're going to save those leftovers and use them for another day during that week. And just to show you, this is week 1, week 2, and week 3 of meal plans, which is technically what your meal plan should be looking if you are trying to be in a detox or in a diet. And I think these meals are awesome because when you are done eating these foods, you are not feeling hungry at all. You do feel hungry at the first portion, but once you are done eating, you actually feel satisfied. The reason why you might feel hungry is because you're trying to lay off the sugar and you're still detoxing. So, growing pains and stuff like that. And then this is the most, I would say, scary part of the section, and this is the shopping list. I'm not gonna lie, the shopping list for week 1 is very extensive. It is this entire page, and I know it looks crazy, but just so that you're aware, a lot of the things that are on this list are seasonings and spices that you might already have in your pantry. So yes, food shopping the first time is going to suck and you're going to be frustrated and you're going to spend hours at the supermarket, because I am not going to lie to you, I spent hours the first week that I went food shopping because I just didn't know what to buy. And if you notice, week 1 is an entire page, but week 2 is this right here, and then week 3 is even shorter. So, a lot of it is because the first week is just telling you about the spices and the things that you're gonna need in order to get through the entire 3 weeks. And then we get into the actual recipe portion. The first part is the breakfast portion, of course. And again, she just has a bunch of recipes in this book. And I think this is great because, again, this is not just a sugar detox book with guidelines and instructions. This is also a cookbook, and I'm not gonna lie, I have cooked some of these recipes after being finished with the sugar detox because the food that she recommends is actually really delicious. Now I'm going to share my experience going through the detox. So I didn't really read everything about the mindset section just because I already knew that the sugar detox was going to work. I've already been educated because I watched a lot of stuff from reputable sources, so I knew that this was going to work out for me. But in my experience, I feel like the toughest part was at the beginning of the sugar detox, which is the same thing with any diet or any exercising. The first week always sucks. All right. So the one thing that I probably hated the most about the sugar detox, at least the first time I did it, because I did this 2 times already. The first time I did it, I went food shopping, and what I did, obviously I'm not gonna go to the supermarket with a book. I wrote all of the items in a piece of paper, and I had a giant list of things to buy. And a little backstory, I didn't really learn how to cook from adults around me because I just had to kind of figure things out. But I didn't really have a lot of seasonings or spices or anything like that. So when I went food shopping, I was truly traumatized. That was crazy because some of the items that I had to buy, I couldn't find in one place. So the one day that I went food shopping, I went to Trader Joe's, then I went to Target, then I went to Whole Foods, and then I even looked for things on Amazon because I just couldn't find a lot of the items that were in this book. And the reason why I was struggling so much was because you have to make sure that everything that you get has 0 sugar. So the nutrition facts need to say 0 sugar, or if I'm not wrong, less than 1 gram of sugar, because there are things that have natural sugars, but you just need to make sure that the things do not have added sugar. So one of the things that I struggled the most, surprisingly, was ketchup. I couldn't find ketchup anywhere that didn't have sugar. And the one place that I found sugar-free ketchup was Whole Foods. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a really teeny tiny bottle and it cost me $7. So yes, the first time that you go food shopping, it's gonna be frustrating. It's gonna take you hours because I spent all morning and all afternoon driving around like a crazy person. And even after getting the things that are on the list, I was still missing some items which I still had to purchase through Amazon, like coconut aminos, which is a replacement for soy sauce. Who would know? So yes, it's frustrating, and again, at first it's expensive because you're not really educated on the things. But honestly, after that 1 week, you become so aware of the things that have sugar, and it just opens your eyes. Like honestly, that was traumatizing, but at the same time, it was life-changing because just by going through that experience, I've become so aware of the things that are added into my food. And because of that, I've become a healthier eater because I just eat whole foods. I eat real fruits and real vegetables. I try to avoid anything that is canned. I try to avoid anything that is processed because one, it's just so much easier and cheaper to buy regular whole food than just buying canned processed food. After the food shopping, which like I said is very traumatizing, week 1 is different for everybody. Because this was my first time, I started at level 1 because I've never done anything like this, and level 1 is the easiest level. But by the second time that I did this, went up to the level 2, which it avoids certain things like grains, like sweet potatoes, and like some legumes like beans and stuff like that. Because I believe that if you ate your meal and you were still hungry, you were allowed to consume a sweet potato or something just to fill you up. But during my first week, I didn't really experience a lot of withdrawals. I didn't experience the headaches. A lot of people do experience headaches, which is very common. I was very hungry the first week because I used to have breakfast, snack, lunch, maybe have another snack, and then have dinner. I was eating throughout the entire day. So when you're following this detox, you're only allowed to have 3 meals a day, and they allow you to have 1 snack. And I'm telling you, like, the snack is so tiny, you're like, is this really a snack? But after that first week, the hunger goes away and you actually start to feel better about the things that you are eating. Week 2 was pretty okay for me. And again, I'm talking from the first time, it was fine. And I did start to notice that I was a lot less bloated, and I did start to notice that I was getting a lot slimmer. Another thing that I wanted to add about week 2 is that during week 2, all of the cravings that I had for junk food went away. And it's surprising because you don't think about these things, but it's like the first week, you're craving the junk food, you're craving the cookies and the chips and all this McDonald's and like the takeout food. But after that first week, you stop craving the things and you just kind of live your life the way you're supposed to. But by the time that you get to week 3, you start craving things. But the funny thing is that you're not craving junk food or chips or Doritos or cookies. You're genuinely just craving regular carbs. Like by the time that I was on week 3, all I wanted was to have some rice with my chicken or some pasta with my chicken. That's all I was craving. And it's weird, but it's true. Like honestly, I didn't even care about the junk food or getting anything that was greasy, which I don't recommend after doing a sugar detox to go back into that. But I was genuinely just craving a side of carbs with my food. And I don't know if it's because I was experiencing hypoglycemia, but while I was doing this detox, I had a really hard time having bowel movements. And then usually the first week and the week after I was finished with the detox, I was completely fine, like if nothing happened, and I was regulating fine. But for me, those 3 weeks meant that I wasn't really regulating as I should have. And I don't know if it's because I was experiencing hypoglycemia or if I need to consume carbs. I don't really know how it works, but all I know is that that was my experience while I was consuming this. By the end of the sugar detox, I remember having a Snapple at a family gathering, and oh my goodness, I think I was so shocked because usually when you drink Snapple or vitamin water or Gatorade, it just tastes like watered down juice. But then after the detox, I was like, oh my goodness, this is so sweet. And after the detox, everything just tasted extra sweet. Everything. And even cheese. Cheese was tasting sweet to me. I remember going to this restaurant that I really liked. And we used to always get pizza from this place. And I was like, you know what? I really want to get pizza from this place because I was craving it. And oh my goodness, I stopped liking this restaurant because for whatever reason, their sauce tasted like syrup to me. And that is what you will experience after going through a sugar detox. You will go back to the places that you enjoyed so much, and you will try to have like the good pizza that you had, or you'll have the McDonald's, and you're going to realize that half of the stuff that you're eating tastes like syrup, or it just tastes sweet when it never tasted sweet before. So it feels wrong, because if I'm eating sweet and sour chicken, I would expect it to be sweet. But if I'm eating pizza and I was just having plain margarita pizza, I don't want my tomato sauce to taste like syrupy, which is what it tasted like to me. Personally, I feel like this book has changed my life, and I wanted to share this because I think this is something that was helpful for me, and I think it is good to share things like this. And I hope that if you guys are interested, I hope you guys buy this and also follow it, because I honestly think that this has been a game changer for me. And I'm telling you, ever since the first time that I did this, I have not gone back to the way that I was before. And it's been so much easier for me to lose weight and keep track of myself because I learned so much from this book. Also, by the time that I was finished with my sugar detox, I lost about 3 inches off my waist. And if I'm not wrong, I believe I lost about like 6 pounds. So I think this is amazing. And I think this is something that if you are interested in, you should definitely consider it. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching this video and for supporting me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, my friends. Remember that by interacting with this video or any of the other videos in my channel, you are supporting me and the rest of my channel. All right, my friends, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.